mission to reach the nation, and it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah, let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about whatever it is we want to chat about. And today, my very special guest is my brother, my singles in the city, singles mingle partner in dating crime, Mr. Nick Rains. Mr. Nick Rains is a licensed clinical social worker, and we have done many live broadcasts. But today he's coming in an official capacity. Not that he wasn't official before, but he's official now. And so we're talking about anxiety. Good anxiety. What is good anxiety? Does it seem kind of oxymoronish? It does to me. Sort of like those two, good and anxiety, can't coexist. But we're going to talk about it. So before I bring Nick on, I want to hear from you. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube. So please like and share. Tell a friend they should be on here. This is an interactive conversation. We fully expect to hear from you. Your comments, your questions are welcome. And we are all about trying to eliminate the stigma around mental health and wellness and going to see a therapist, encouraging you to get your checkup from the neck up. So let's get this conversation started. So if you will, in the comments, put your city and your state so we can give you a shout out. I see a few of you on, but no comments yet, but that's okay because I'm gonna keep it rolling. So I'm gonna go ahead and share Nick's bio. And when you all join us a little bit later, then we will give you a shout out. So Nick earned his bachelor's in social work from the Florida State University, go Noles, and went on to obtain his master's in social work. He is a licensed therapist, a licensed clinical social worker who has over 7 years of experience in the mental health field. He's worked with adolescents and adults who are struggling to cope with adjustment disorders, depression, anxiety, anger, panic attacks, behavioral challenges, mood changes, trauma, grief, loss, spirituality related issues, relationship conflicts, communication, and self esteem problems. Nick has worked on several different therapy platforms, including BetterHelp, in which he receives a 5-star rating. Go, Nick. He specializes in decreasing anxiety, depression symptoms, and increasing self esteem. Nick's clients have reported feeling better, having more energy to pursue everyday activities, having more of a positive outlook on life, and worrying less within the first 8 weeks. In addition, Nick is also an entrepreneur, the CEO of the Love Innovators Mental Health Counseling, a community advocate, and a public speaker. His vision is to help everyone he encounters become the very best version of themselves and pursue their dreams and passion. Last but not least, Nick is married and a father of 2 beautiful children. Y'all, help me welcome Mr. Nick Rains.
Yes.
What's going on?
Nothing. Love the song. Yes, love the intro song.
Thank
I can't
you.
dance, man. That's a nice intro. I love it every time I hear it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I say I need just one more verse and I have a hit record on my hand.
Yeah, for real.
Well, welcome, my brother. Welcome. So tell the people, who is Nick Rains? Not what you do, but who are you?
um, I am a big proponent of everyone achieving what they call to be. Like everyone reaching their purpose and their passion in this earth. I really believe that if you not reach your purpose or your passion in this earth, then you are cheating those connected to you, right?
Mm.
Because you have a gift that they have not received from you. Miles Monroe said that the greatest and the wealthiest and the richest place on this earth is the graveyard, where people have
Mm.
went and buried their talents and not reached their full potential. So I'm an advocate of doing that. Want everybody to do their best and reach their full potential to be the best version of themselves at all costs, always.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So we got a few folks joining us. We got Miss Brittany. Thank you for being here. She says, welcome. We got Ozzy Daniel in Virginia Beach. Thank you for being here, Ozzy.
What's up?
Yes, 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 yes. Miss Latanya down in Atlanta. Thank you for joining us. Tracy Gole here also in Tallahassee. And Ozzy said Nick is on the other side of the bench tonight. Yes, he is.
I may be pulling a little double duty, but you're right.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. So tell folks a little bit about like kind of how you got started on the counselor journey, on your counselor journey.
So social worker, right? Got my bachelor's, got my master's, and then I definitely want to become a licensed therapist, but them hours take a long time. So I was working on my hours the whole time, studying everything and passed the exam, and doing what I feel like I was called to do on this earth. So started out with the love innovators, just doing relationships, things of that nature, and then wanted to branch out and just be able to help in every area someone has anxiety, depression, whatever it may be, individuals, single couples. I want to be able to help everyone be a one-stop shop, as I like to call, for love, right? Because that's why I got the love innovators, which means that I believe whatever relationship you're in, you have to love yourself first. That's where the name comes from.
Love it, love it, love it. All right. So we are about to dive into this topic of what is good anxiety. But before we do, I see a few folks, some more folks have joined us. So Serena, greetings. Thank you for being here. Brother Malcolm, good evening here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. My sister Shayla down in South Florida. Thank you for being here, Shay, in the Disney Diva in Georgia. Now I can comment. Wonderful. I'm glad you're on here with us, Miss Lisa. Appreciate you so much. But I have a clinician on, so I don't want you all to confuse our conversation for therapy, right? So hold on, y'all. Give me one moment. Should have had this up. My bad. So all topics,
Take your time.
past, present, and future on Conversations with Nicole are for information purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All right, I said it. Okay, so what is good anxiety?
So great question, Nicole. But at first, I think we have to first understand what is anxiety, right?
Okay.
So just give you a little definition, okay? So anxiety is a fear reaction that is disproportionate to the actual level of threat. A fear reaction that is disproportionate to the actual level of threat. All right. So I think that's important before we even get started to kind of understand what anxiety is.
Okay, so say it one more again. I hope somebody taking notes. I need somebody to take some notes in the comments. Let us know. Like somebody be the scribe tonight. All right.
Okay. You want me to say it again?
One more again. One more again.
Anxiety is a fear reaction that is disproportionate to the actual level of threat.
Okay. Gotcha. So is that sort of like maybe I've heard that definition, fear being false evidence appearing real.
Right. Definitely, because definitely as the word fear, right? So it is false evidence appearing real. We're going to definitely get into that. So I like when you said that. So I'm going to give you an example of what anxiety could look like. Okay, so we'll get into that.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me see. The Disney Diva, I was agreeing with Nick. I always jam off the intro song. Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. We got Dr. Asha here from the West Coast. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, she in California or something?
She moved to Cali.
Oh, what's up, Dada? You didn't even let me know. Wow. Okay. What's up, Dada? West Side?
Yes, West Side. But she's still here. We love her. We appreciate you. And yes, false evidence appearing real. Exactly.
Right.
All right, we got Johnny on. How do you? I think maybe he's saying, how do you know if you have anxiety?
That's a good question, Johnny. A
Mhm.
good question. So, the way you can figure out if you have anxiety is, again, it's like you have these feelings, but it's disproportionate, like a fear, to what you actually experiencing. So I go ahead and get into it. So anxiety could be like, as we just came out of the COVID pandemic, you remember
Mhm.
the false positive, right? So you have
Mhm.
the false positive. So that means that it's appearing that it's something that's actually there, but it's actually not real, or at least the
Mhm.
threat is not real. So think of anxiety almost like a false positive, okay?
Okay.
And if it's becoming overwhelming to you, those thoughts that you're feeling, Johnny, then it means it could be some anxiety, ruminating thoughts that you can't really control. Then that could be a level of anxiety, right? But since
Mhm.
Johnny asked that, Nicole, I do want to kind of go into the difference between anxiety and stress, right?
Mhm.
Because you have to know the distinction, because stress is the access of life demands over your resources. Okay. So access of life demands over your resources. So that is the difference between anxiety and stress. So I want to make that distinction because you could get mixed diagnosed thinking you have some level of anxiety and it actually could be stress. Okay. So
Wait
it's
a minute, Nick. Hold on. Listen, I'm trying to keep up, but wait a minute.
I'm
All
slowing down.
right. Access of life demands over your resource.
Right. That's
Hmm.
stress. That's stress.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
Different than anxiety, which
Uh,
is a fear. It's just disproportionate to the actual level of threat. Okay.
okay.
Stress is you need to actually, you have a lot of demands that's over your actual resources that you have.
So Ozzy said hypochondriac for nothing.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Dr. Asha said disproportionate is the key word. I love how you phrase that.
Right. Right.
And the diva says self-inflicted.
Hmm. Right.
Okay. Tell the professor to run it run it back so we can get our notes right for the test.
Right.
Yes. All right. Okay. No, I'm processing this. So that's what's going on. I'm processing the access of life demands over your resources. Got it. Okay.
So again, so if you want to know the difference between anxiety and stress, with stress, if I actually increase my resources and lower my demands, then my stress should come down. Okay.
Increase your resources, lower your
Lower my
demand. This
demands.
sound like some economics or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it is. Like equation.
All right. Increase resources,
Lower
lower
your demands.
demand,
Mhm.
less stress.
Right. Right.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
All
So
right.
that's an actual thing. When
Mm,
my resources, I don't have enough of my demand. So that's different. That's a level of stress.
mhm.
Anxiety, the fear that's disproportionate to the level of threat. False positive, remember, appearing real, but it's not.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
Mhm.
Hold on. We got Princess with us. Thank you for being here. Good evening. Good evening. Happy King Day. All right. Diva. So we actually stress ourselves out.
Actually, you're right, Diva, because you could actually stress yourself out by trying to get rid of your stress. Thinking that I have to get rid of my stress is to stress yourself out, right? Anxiety. We're going to get into that, right? So,
What?
yes, yes, absolutely.
How do you stress yourself out getting rid of the stress?
Thinking that I have to continue to do it. See, anxiety actually is something that we should be able to manage. You don't have to get rid of anxiety because that's why we call good anxiety, because you don't have to get rid of it. You need to just manage it.
Manage it. Okay,
Learn
got
to
it.
manage it. Okay.
Okay, all right. Tell me more. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat.
So, textbook definition: anxiety, psychological and physical response to stress. The body does not know the difference between the stress that's actual real and the stress that's actually fake. So that's the thing. Your body is just made to actually respond to something. So anxiety is when you actually, it's something that alerts you that something is important that I need to do. Okay. So think of anxiety as like a smoke alarm. If
Mm,
your smoke alarm is going off, it's telling you you need to do something. Okay. So I need to go either turn that thing down because it's smoking, right? So I can decrease that smoke. And
mhm,
then I need to do something, which is turn it off or whatever it may be. So that's anxiety, right?
mm,
Like a smoke alarm. Again,
mhm,
if you do not do anything with a smoke alarm, then it's going to become annoying. your thoughts going to keep on ruminating. It's going to be overwhelming. So I have to do something. So that's why anxiety can be good, because it's alerting me that something is important to me and I need to take action.
Gotcha. Okay. So hold on. Diva said, tonight I've been set free. Okay, we setting the captives free. So praise God. Hallelujah. Warrior Woman Powell, know your stressors. Yes. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely want to know your stressors.
Okay.
Know what stresses you out, know what environment stress you out, know what people stress you out, right? Remember, we want to make sure our demands, because sometimes the demands are coming from our family, friends, and people connected to us. So sometimes I may have to decrease those demands by saying no, or either just say I can't do it. And so I can actually increase my resources of what I'm doing so I don't get stressed out. So you definitely want to know your stressors and know people and places and things that stress you out as well. And events.
All right, I'm gonna pause here and get the viewers involved. So do you all know your stressors? Let us know in the comments. Do you know your stressors? Yes or no? Let us know. And then if you know your stressors, what ways do you manage your stressors? Or are you seeking some ways to manage your stressors? I know that's a lot of questions. So do you know your stressors? Yes or no? If you do know them, how do you manage them? In the comments. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. All right. Ozzy said, control the environment of your mind. Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Control the environment of your mind. All right. My sister said, and kinda.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that, Shay, because that brings up a question. How do you identify what your stresses are? Can you tell us some of that, Nick? How we can identify what our stresses are? Could it be the things that when it happens, we start sweating profusely and our hearts start palpitating, or, whatever, that we get that nervous twitch, or?
I think you really have to be mindful. And it's something called mindfulness, right? They kind of like focusing on what's in front of you, what you're thinking about. Some people think about what you're hearing. That's mindfulness. Think about what you're seeing, and also touch a part of your body. So that's a form of mindfulness. But sometimes you do not know that you are stressed, right? But your body keeps count. And so you have to pay attention to your body. Like I know some people that they so stressed, they don't know it. They may just start crying out of nowhere because they have not released that. That's your body telling on you need to do something, that something is out of balance.
Yeah.
But you really have to pay attention to understand if you're stressed or not. Pay attention to your behaviors, right? Some people stress eat. That's one way, right? I'm stressed out. I want to get something to eat. I'm eating a lot of junk food or eating a lot of sweets. Or some people, of course, they drink alcohol, and they drink it more than they normally drink. Okay.
Right.
A lot of people, they smoke weed, marijuana. So those are ways that you kind of can tell if you may be stressed out or not. So if it's things that you like to do, watch your intake and how much you're doing them. That's a good sign that you could be stressing out.
Very good sign. Let me pause. Let's see. My mom joined us. Hey, Ma, thank you for being here. Diva said, I know my level of limitation. She said, I used to cuss folks out, but now I just withhold my presence from those undeserving. I love it. I love it, Diva.
Hey, so if you cussing everybody out, that means you probably stressed. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ozzy said, yes, I do. That is why I meditate daily. Self-management. Okay. So Ozzy meditates.
Yes.
Dr. Asha. Asha is her own stressor 98% of the time. Control with meditation, journaling, and prayer, all with the goal of repositioning my thoughts. Love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Princess, yes, I have fibromyalgia. I must rest and remove myself from places and people or myself. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Princess. We appreciate it. Warrior woman, yes, learn to step away. All right, so folks are removing themselves from the situations, boy, because they know it's about to pop off. Malcolm, yes, thank you, Malcolm. He said, knowing how to say no. That is a very important one. Thank you for sharing.
I want to touch on that what Malcolm said, learn how to say no. Because I think sometimes people look at it as an ugly word, especially when you say no to people that you love. But I always look at it like this. I say no to preserve my yes. Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Asha, did you hear that? That's listen, that is quotable right there. I say no to preserve my yes. I love it. That's on the I need to put that on a shirt.
Yeah. So this is what I mean by that, Nicole, because some people would just come to you because I said this before. People adjust to your level of need. So if they feel like they can always come to you, they're gonna always come to you. But if I'm always helping those people that really don't need help, when someone really does need help, I can't help them. So I'm gonna say no to those people that don't really need me, so I can preserve my yes and be there for people that really do need me. Okay,
Yes.
so that's what I'm saying. So I always think about that. I preserve my no. I say no so I can preserve my yes. So whoever really needs me, because if you notice, some people that call you with this emergency, right? Your lack of preparation is not a mercy on my behalf. Okay. Sometimes they just you the first person on their list. They got 10 other people that are gonna call after you. So what I do a lot of times, I may just say no, and I check in with that person in the next 2 weeks. Say, hey man, did you get that worked out? They be like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you remember when you called me? It was an emergency and everything. Oh yeah, man, ain't no thing. I realize a lot of times people just like they're gonna come to you without having to try to work it out themselves. But again, you probably the first person they call, and they're gonna call 10 other people.
Yes. Oh, that's really good, Nick.
Yeah.
That's really good. All right. We got Valencia on with us. Thank you for joining us. She said, I've been learning mindfulness techniques. In the high stress moments, I slow down. Yes. Breathe. Yes. And count. Yes. Currently seeking ways to manage them. That's all of that is really good, Valencia. Thank you for sharing that.
As she's talking about a deep breathing technique is another form of mindfulness, right? Just in through your nose, out through your mouth, those 5 times, at least 10 to 5 times to do that. I tell people to do that. It may be a situation where you can't leave, you may be at work, you can't run to the bathroom, they need you. So you can do a deep breathing exercise right there in place.
Yes. Dr. Asha, that's a good word. Professor Deek, I have a whole list of physiological responses. If 2 or more show up at a time, I take a step back to ask why. She also said, come on, self-preservation. She rustles through her purse to get ready for the collection plates. Yes. All right. Serena, you're spot on, Nick. So true. Yes. All right. Whew, okay. Let's carry on. All right. So we've talked about stress. We've talked about anxiety, increase in resources plus a decrease in demand should equal less stress, and how we cause on ourselves. And now talking about our stressors. So what else you got for us?
Yeah. So I want to talk about how I feel like it's been a lot of diagnoses of anxiety lately, right? And well, not lately, but I'm just saying in the world, but it wasn't always like that. And
do you think it's increased because of COVID?
I think COVID did increase it, but I also think because we're so technology advanced, right, with all these apps and things like that, our brain is still trying to catch up to what we have going on, which has caused a lot of anxiety, right? It's a lot more people being diagnosed. Anxiety is one of the top diagnoses when it comes to mental health, right? Some form of anxiety, GAD, general annualized anxiety, and general anxiety disorder. You have mixed anxiety disorder with depressed mood. You have so many levels of anxiety being diagnosed. But I think that has a lot to do with just technology, and our brain is still trying to catch up. What we talk about, information overload. A lot of times that causes anxiety.
Yeah, you right about that. You are right about that, Nick. All right. Brittany said a lot of my stress came from always helping people, but when I need help, they can't do it. Ooh, yeah, know about that, Brittany.
Right.
Ozzy, if you know the why, the how is easy. Jim Rowan. Okay. That's an interesting quote. Mom said, I know some when I think she means perspire is and it just me. I calm myself and breathe. Okay. So when she starts perspiring, sweating, if it's and she's by herself, it's the thoughts probably that's going through her head. So she calms herself down. All right, we got Edwina on. Thank you for being here, Edwina. Appreciate you. And Miss Kiosha, thank you for being here, Kiosha. I appreciate you so much. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are almost to the halfway mark. On with my buddy Nick Rains. We are talking about good anxiety. We have defined anxiety. We've defined stress. We've talked about stressors. And the quote of the night is I say no to preserve my yes. I
Yes.
love that.
Absolutely.
I
Right.
love that. Oh, Jakeisha just jumped on. Hey, Jakeisha, girl. Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Brittany, I was diagnosed with anxiety and started to realize it was all in my head. So I picked my Bible up and started to remind myself who God said I am. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Right.
So, Nick, I'm gonna have you touch on, if you don't mind, since Brittany brought it up, spirituality and what role does that play in good anxiety?
Good question. So spirituality plays a good role, right? Because when you're talking about good anxiety, anxiety also lets us know our limitations, which
Mm,
goes back to what Brittany is talking about right there. I understand that I'm not perfect and I need to humble myself because I'm dealing with these thoughts. So I need to call on a higher power, as
mm,
Brittany just mentioned, right? So
mm,
it does help with your spirituality, reminding you that, hey, you need to stay humble, and then seek help, whether it's people, whether it's who you believe in, whether you believe in God. So I think that's a good point, right? Remember, anxiety is that fear that's disproportionate to the level of threat. But remember, the Bible says God did not give us the spirit of fear. Okay. So when she's talking about that, so she's picking up her Bible, it's almost like a level of meditation and mindfulness that Brittany is talking about. So that fear decreases,
mm.
which also decreases your anxiety.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for sharing that, Brittany.
Right.
Ozzy said, take cold showers. That will ice anxiety for sure.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ozzy. We got Nikki Parker on with us, who's here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us, Nikki. Appreciate you. So, so we touched on spirituality some. I think also, really it's mindset. It's everything starts in the mind, right? The
Mhm.
thoughts. And so, really, if you could change your thoughts, you can change your feelings and your behaviors and change your actions.
That's right. Now, I love what you said, Nicole, because I want to go into the neuroscience behind that. Okay.
Okay.
That's great. So let's go into the neuroscience behind it. Okay. So the neuroscience behind that, too much, this is anxiety behind the scenes. Too much cortisol is released and not enough dopamine and serotonin, which are neurotransmitters that help us feel grounded. So when we have anxiety, we got too much cortisol and not enough dopamine and serotonin, which helps us or makes us lose control and we're not in charge anymore.
Love it. All
Right.
right, you bringing out the nerd in Dr. Asha. She was like, yes, for the neuroscience.
Yes.
You didn't know he didn't give us the spirit of fear. Come on, here, Deep, take off heels, get ready to do a lap. All right. Prince says, she said, can therapy help if some don't believe in God?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It definitely can help because when it comes to that, we just gonna give you principles, right? I have plenty of clients that do not believe in God, so I don't go there with them. But what they don't understand is I give them godly principles. So it works the same, right? But it always be an opportunity to introduce them to somebody. So I'm always ready.
Indeed, 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 indeed.
Right.
Okay,
So
cool.
I want to go a little further with that. So we talked about the cortisol, right? And so we
Mhm.
have too much cortisol, not enough dopamine, not enough serotonin. So another way to put it is the prefrontal cortex. I know Dr. Asha, she would love this.
She loving it.
Prefrontal cortex is the thinking part of the brain, right? It's the CEO of the brain. And what it is that what happens, the limbic system of the brain, which is the thinking and where's the motion part of the brain and the feelings of the brain. You have anxiety whenever the prefrontal cortex is no longer in control and the limbic system has taken over, right? So that's when anxiety behind the scenes, that's what it looks like. So just want to explain that a little bit. Prefrontal cortex, CEO, not in control no more. Limbic system has taken over. You're out of control. Too much cortisol has been released. Not enough dopamine and serotonin.
Okay. All right. So Asha, it's the prefrontal cortex and limbic system for me.
Okay.
All right. We got Jamil on with us. Thank you for being here. She said, come on, bro. Love it. All right. Ozzy said, exercise, exercise, exercise. And he also said, spirituality is significant indeed. Your thoughts are everything. We are what we think. Now, that is the key to mindset. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So seems like there's something more to this good anxiety though.
Yes, it is. It
Oh,
is.
okay.
There.
All right.
There. I'm
What
waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I'm letting you guide this thing.
what you got for us, Nick?
All right. So, like people said, your thoughts, right? So, what I just said is about neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is pretty much etching new neural pathways in your brain. And the way you do that is actually your thoughts. But you can do stuff like a gratitude journal. So I tell my clients sometimes write down 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. Every morning, 3 things that you're grateful for. The reason why I'm doing that because I'm trying to etch neural pathways in the brain, the neuroplasticity, and change the way you think. Right? We are naturally, some people, we talk about negativity. Some people are negative because we actually are just geared to be negative because our body is made to defend ourselves. So we have to naturally change that mindset. I don't have to defend myself, and I'm always in fear when I start thinking about what I'm grateful for. So I have to etch that new path of neural, pathways in my brain by thinking about what I'm grateful for and doing good things. Which also, if I do a gratitude journal, it releases what? Dopamine and serotonin. Right? So
Right.
that's one thing we have to do. So that's neuroplasticity, just changing the way we think because our body is naturally made to defend ourselves and also protect ourselves from fear. That's where we get the fight, flight, or freeze.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, Johnny, I see your question. I'm gonna come back to it in just a minute. We got Chef K on. She said to what Ozzy said, cold showers release dopamine. Really? Oh, I find that one hard to believe, but okay.
Yeah, like cold showers.
I don't like cold weather. I'm sitting here with the heat on now.
Me either.
Listen, don't play with me. Ozzy, let's get into the icing, Nick. Yes, all right. Asha, in neuroplasticity deep, my inner and outer nerve is exploding in the best way. We know it is. All right, we got Miss Benicia on with us. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year.
Combination.
Yes. All right. Princess says, can this help with those with PTSD to allow individuals to not go into fight or flight?
Yes, absolutely. Because anxiety, right? If you're feeling yourself, because I always ask my clients, like, where's your anxiety at? 0 to 10, 0 being not at all, 10 being like on a high level. So if they say anything above like a 6 or something like that, then maybe we need to do some deep breathing exercises. Maybe we need to write in our gratitude journal a little bit more. Definitely exercise, communication, also massages, so many different things you could do to bring your anxiety back down. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
So it does help with PTSD to say, because PTSD is actually a form of anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Kay said, yes, these cold showers do release the dopamine. All right. I'm gonna take your word for it, Kay. But I ain't trying to do that. I'll get my dopamine another way. Let me see. Johnny had a question. He said, is there a drug for that? And I think he's talking about maybe the releasing of the clarify, Johnny, because I don't want to assume. If you could clarify what for that, what is the that you're referring to? All right. Cold showers boost the immune system and focus, Nicole. Not your girl. Sorry. So sorry.
Right.
Woo, I have tried it. And I'm not saying it because, just out of no, I'm not doing it. But I have tried to get in like a cold pool and it's just bone chilling to me. Yeah. But I've heard that it is good for you though. I have heard that. Oh, listen, I will teach you the art of it. Okay, Lozzie, let's see. You trying to teach these skills about these cold showers. All right. Johnny said dopamine. Is there a drug for dopamine?
I think it is. I think it actually is. Has to be prescribed by a psychiatrist, though. But yes,
Mm.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't prescribe medication.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right, Brittany, we have to flip the gift. People with anxiety are prayer warriors. They have a gift of putting in way more than that's needed. Imagine that being something positive. We have to flip the gift. Okay. So prayer warriors from the standpoint, Brittany, if you don't mind providing clarity, because they have all of these things on their mind that come to them to pray about. Let me know kind of what your thought is on that. All right, Dr. Asha. She says scolding hot showers plus 5 more degrees, please. Listen. Yes, gotta have it. Got to have it. All right. Yeah, that's a no on the cold showers. My sister said, Listen, we from Florida, from South Florida at that. No cold showers.
Not for me.
All right. So gosh, y'all got like really deep on this whole like neuroplasticity and dopamine and cortisone and all of those,
Yeah.
all of the big words, but I get it. So how should we go about um I don't want to say uh I don't even know the right question for it. How can we have more good anxiety in our life?
Okay. Yes. So that's good. So let me explain this right here. So
Okay.
that's a good question. So that's actually what I was going to go into next.
Oh,
So anxiety can be used as a form of energy because it's alerts, right? It alerts us a threat or something important, right? But it also can be used for arousal and peak performance. So let me explain.
okay.
So the inverted U. So if you think about inverted U or upside down U, right? On this side right here, we don't have no anxiety at all. Let's just think
Okay.
about this. No anxiety at all. So that means that can also breed laziness and demotivation, not motivated at all to do anything. But if I have something come up, let's just say a test, and it's a very, very valuable, important test or exam. So my anxiety goes up around this U, and now I'm at the top, right? So
Mm,
now I'm at the top. So that brings up some type of performance because now I'm aroused because I know this test is very important to me and I need to pass it. So what that does, it requires me to study. Okay.
mhm.
So now I study. And so I just got to make sure that level of anxiety is not over my level of performance that I'm trying to do. So I don't want to be overwhelmed. That's the thing. So
Okay.
anxiety can cause you to actually perform something. If I got something important coming up, then that means I need to study. If I got a speech coming up, then I got to prepare for that speech. So that's why
Mhm.
you have good anxiety. If I don't have no level of anxiety and no level of stress, remember there was challenges, then how do I get better? No one grows through comfort. You do not grow through comfort. We all grow through challenges. So anxiety can be a level of challenge, and that's something that I'm like, as I remember, anxiety is an alarm going off like a smoke alarm. This is important. You need to do something about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So again, let me go to the peak. So if I go to the peak, so I'm at anxiety, I'm at this peak right here, and I'm studying, everything is good. That is a good level of anxiety. But if I do not do anything, I come on down to the right of that inverted U. And now I get to the point where everything, I'm overwhelmed, I have too much going on, and everything falls to pieces. So I need to stay at the peak of anxiety. That's called a good anxiety, right? Right there.
So somewhere between high and low.
Yes, yes,
Got it.
yes. Mhm.
Okay. So, Jokitra, she said, because the word says to be anxious for nothing, but in everything prayer and supplication, maybe what she's speaking of. Maybe again. So Brittany, if you don't mind just elaborating a little bit more. All right, Dr. Asha, there is emerging research on ice dips and ice baths, though. I'll bring it to the next class. Please do. Please do. Please do. All right, we got Michael Cork with us. He said, so sober anxiety.
Mm.
Is that another word is that a term that you could use for it? Sober anxiety?
Yeah, I guess you could use that if
Okay.
talking about sober there. I guess so. Mhm.
Thank you for joining us, Cork. Appreciate you. Kiosha, for clarification, we can't grow from good experiences. She's asking, can we grow from good experiences?
Yes, absolutely. You can grow from good experience. Actually, that goes back to neuroplasticity that we're talking about, etching new pathways in the brain, right? So if I keep having these good experiences, let's just say I'm talking about I'm afraid of a dog, right? And one time I had a panic attack because I was a pit bull and it came after me. I went into fight, flight, or freeze. Well,
Mhm.
what I may have to do is I may have to slowly start looking at pictures of a dog. Then I I may have someone that could bring a dog in. I have pet the dog, and next you know, I'm no longer afraid of that dog. So a good experience with a dog can actually lower my anxiety, right? So good experiences can help with your anxiety.
Okay. I hope that answered the question, Kiosha. Dr. Asha, quote, no one grows through comfort. Hey, don't make me pass these offering plates out again, Deke. Listen, I was sighing real hard on that one, Ash. So Kiosha put a thumbs up. Yes. All right. Gloria, love it. No one grows through comfort. All right. That's it. That's the second. That looks like that's the second quote of the night. No one grows through comfort.
Right.
All right. So Brittany responded, people with anxiety put in work on the subject of matter, whether it's fear, loneliness, etc. That's a gift of dedication. It's just flipped and it's pouring into the wrong thing. Okay. So she says, furthermore, that a prayer warrior is someone who will pray a mountain out of the way. If a person with anxiety flips the gift, it will be life-changing. Okay. All right. I get it now. Thank you for sharing that, Brittany. So basically, speaking to whatever those challenges are, yeah, I get it. Valencia, that's a word. All right. So we got a second word tonight. His first one was, I say no to preserve my yes, and no one grows through comfort.
Right.
No one grows through comfort. All right. Go on with the quotes, Nick.
Right.
All right. Let me see. I thought somebody else had something. Maybe not. All right. That's fine.
So we continue on. You want to continue on the good anxiety? Okay.
Yes. How can we have more good anxiety in our lives?
So again, thinking about the inverted U, upside down U, peak performance is achieved when the level of pressure we experience is appropriate to the work we're doing. So meaning that peak performance is achieved when the level of pressure is not more than what I'm doing. All right. So that means I don't get exasperated. I don't go into fight, flight, or freeze. I'm actually, the anxiety is good for what I'm trying to do. Again, if I had a speech and I'm trying to prepare for that speech, it's going to help me study. If I'm trying to prepare for this test, it's going to help me study because I got some important coming up. I need to make sure I'm prepared.
Okay, so I got a question. Where does procrastination come in all of that?
That's good, because procrastination can turn into anxiety.
It can.
Yes. Because the thing about it, I'm procrastinating, but I know I got something going on.
I know I got to do it.
I know I got to do it, and the deadline is coming up, and I have
the deadline is came and maybe got extended again, and I still got to do it.
Exactly. So now I may not be prepared when that thing comes up, event, test, whatever it may be, and now my anxiety is going on because I'm not prepared. So procrastination actually triggers anxiety, or can
trigger anxiety.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So let's talk about how to manage anxiety, right? So let's talk about more. So one thing you do, like we got too many. I always like to say, okay, it's too much up here a lot of times, right? People have these thoughts and everything like that. It's too much on here. What you could do is writing it down, right? So write down the things that I have to do, and then also put beside it what I can control and what I can't control. Okay. I can control this, and this what I can't control. If I cannot control it and I have no authority over it, then I don't need to worry about it. If I can't control it and I have no authority over it, I no need to worry about it, right? It's easier said than done, but that's how you got to think about it. I'm going to put my thoughts down because it's too much up here. It's just like doing a to-do list. Oh man, I got so much to do. But a lot of times when you write down your to-do list and everything you got to do, and you do check marks beside it as you get it done, you feel accomplished. But also that's a dopamine shot too. Ding! It's like when you get that phone call that you was waiting on, that text you was waiting on, that's a dopamine shot, right? So as I get things accomplished and I put a check box at the end and I check it, it's like a dopamine shot, feeling accomplished doing the same things that I'm doing. So that's another thing you can do. So writing down your thoughts, it's too much for me. What can I control and what I can't control? And whatever I cannot control, I need to actually take that and say, can't control it, even write it down and say that, can't control it, don't have no authority over it. So I could take this energy and this focus and put it back to things I can't control.
Okay. So Let me see. Let me go back. Valencia says, so procrastination is a form of anxiety.
It can turn into it.
Okay.
Yes. Because just if you got something coming up, you procrastinate on something, right? It's something you're not doing. Anxiety is actually telling you you need to do something. And so if you procrastinate, then you may not be prepared for whatever's coming up.
Okay. All right. Ozzy, cold shower, the natural medication for anxiety. I guarantee you the neuroplasty will start aligning to focus. There's no comfort. So get the focus in it and power through it. Cold shower, good anxiety for me. Focus, yes, Nick, I'm selling it. All right. All right. EH, now my ears are up. I procrastinate at high levels. Oh, I think that's a show. We gotta have a whole show on that.
Yeah, you're right.
We do.
Everybody.
We do. We
Yes.
do. We do. We do. All right, we got Shantavia on with us. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Sometimes I write stuff down after I completed it just so I can check it off and give my go off on the list and get my dopamine hit.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not mad at you, Dr. I should do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time, but like I said, once I write it down, I realize that it's not as much as I thought. It's too much up here, so I have to write it down on paper, and it doesn't seem as much. It's more manageable when I put it on paper a lot of times.
Yes. Seta, thank you for joining us, Seta. She said, letting go of what I can't control is powerful. It allows me to move on to the next thing. It's a constant work. Yes, it is.
Right.
For sure.
Just think about when someone says I quit. That's why when you say you quit something, it's a powerful thing, because once you say you quit, you no longer are devoting energy to that thing. So that's what I'm saying. So when you say have no control over it, and I can't control it, you pretty much saying I quit that. I can't worry about that. And I'm taking this focus that I was really thinking about and I'm putting on something else I can't control.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah. That's why people always say don't say quit, because they know you pretty much done. You mentally been checked out. And so that's what you do when it comes to those thoughts that you can't control. I quit. Can't control it, have no authority, so I can refocus my energy on something I can.
Indeed. Pumpkin has just joined us. Thank you for being here, Pumpkin. Good seeing you yesterday. Jamil, procrastination is masking the thing we don't want to feel or do.
That's good. Right.
Yes. Let's see. Brittany, for example, a person who gossips a lot has a gift of discernment. They are just not using it as they should. Many people question if they have gifts. The gifts be right. They are just flipped. You just, Brittany, I'm feeling in my spirit like flip the gift. Like that's a whole brand or theme that you could be utilizing. I love it. All right. Cork said, when you say mean and stick to quitting, when you say mean, maybe you mean it and stick to quitting. Okay. Yes. It's, that's a whole nother lie too. I think something about a made up mind. And when you decide something, that those words have power and energy, and it resonates within your being, especially when you have really made up your mind and you aren't gonna do something, or you are going to do something. So, all right, Ozzy, it comes down to prioritizing. It does. It does. Seta, that's true. Quitting the fight is saying I'm done, moving on. But like you said, Seta, it's a constant work. It is a constant work. Yes. All right, Nick. So I got this inverted U going on with this low and high, the pressure, the best performance. And so we talked about managing it, what you can control and what you cannot control, right?
Right.
Okay. Any other ways we can manage it?
Yes. Also, something called reframing.
Okay.
Reframing anxiety as not being a problem, but a lesson. For instance, using anxiety as information and not necessarily facts. So thoughts are not always facts.
Right.
They're not always facts. So I tell my clients all the time, they say, well, I got these thoughts. Well, thoughts are not always facts. So I reframe anxiety saying, this is information for me that I need to be aware of. That doesn't mean that's me, and that does not mean it's true, because thoughts are
Okay.
not always facts.
Gotcha.
That's a reframe. So just reframing the information.
So you said instead of problems, lessons.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Reframing anxiety is not being a problem, but as a lesson.
Gotcha. All right. So anybody do any reframing out there? So instead of talking about I have to do this or that, I get to do this or that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Reframing, changing your thought process about it.
I like what you said, Nicole, because it's like if you got like an important interview coming up, a lot of people can get stressed. But like you said, I get to do. So look at the interview as I get to show off my knowledge.
Yes.
That's what they're trying to do. They want to know my knowledge. So I reframe that again, etching those neural pathways in the way I think in my brain, neuroplasticity, the way I think. I get to show off my talents. I get to show off my wisdom having this interview. Lowering your anxiety, not saying, oh man, I might mess up. I can't, this job is very important. But no, I get to show off my knowledge. And I've been studying for this company. I've been talking about this company. I want to work for this company. Why I'd be a good fit for this company. Start thinking about that.
Yes. All right. Kiosha chimed in that feelings are not facts either.
Right. Feelings are not always facts either. Right.
True. All right. I think Princess was saying yes, that she does some reframing. Ozzy, yep, gather the facts and prioritize it. Indeed. Cork, seeing problems as an opportunity to create solutions. Yes.
Absolutely. Right.
Come on. Solutions reach up.
Right.
All right. Tiffany, thank you for being here. I met you today. I appreciate you. She said it's all about how you look at things. Yes, definitely. That perception, those perspectives, all of that is very, very true. So change how you look at it.
Right.
All right. So control versus no control, reframing. Anything else in terms of managing?
Yeah. And like I said before, the gratitude journal. I think
Gratitude.
that's important
Okay.
because, like you said, we just naturally have this negative sense of thinking. Sometimes we overlook what is going well. So I sort of say, let's do a gratitude journal so I can get to thinking more positively. And so then my neuroplasticity in my brain starts to change. Then I got more neural pathways etched out of my brain, one more positive than negative. So doing a gratitude journal, like they say, it was 30 days to create a habit. Now it's like 21 days. What they're really saying is that you just etched out a neural pathway in your brain and changed the way you're thinking from a negative to a positive. Right.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. In other words, get your weight up. Yes. Yes, Court. Get your weight up. That's the shirt. Get your weight up.
Right.
All right. Yes. Princess says reframing is the best way for me to face reality. Yes. Love it. Jamil, feelings are not facts yet. And thank you for adding this, Jamil. We need to validate the feelings and acknowledge the feelings before we can move in our decision making. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's actually what I want to talk about, actually. So thank you for that, Jamil.
All right. We're going to come back to it in just a minute. Seta, reframing also helps with inflection as well. I'm not always right. So looking at things differently allows me to grow too by identifying my weakness in perspective as well. Yes, thank you for that. Let me see. Dr. Asha, it's an opportunity, not an obligation, a blessing, not a burden. Because the blessing of the Lord makes one rich and he adds no sorrow with it. Proverbs 10:22, my reframing mantras. Yes. It took us to church tonight.
Right.
Kiosha, awareness, pause, reframe. APR technique helps with shifting mindsets. Ooh, I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
APR, awareness, pause, reframe. I got to remember that one too.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Asha, what good is God doing in my life right now? My approach to gratitude in this season. Ooh, I really like that. What good is God doing in my life right now? Love it.
And
All
I
right.
think that's why people, positive affirmations that people do every day, all they're doing is just trying to change their thought process in their brain. That's
Yes.
really what they're doing, right?
Yes.
That's why they tell you to do them every single day, do as many as you can, because you're just really reshaping the way you think and being
Mhm.
more positive.
Can we put that on our how to manage list?
Yes, absolutely.
Positive
Affirmation,
affirmations. I know
affirmation.
somebody on this live that does that very well
Mhm.
on Hallelujah 95.3 at about 7:15 in the morning, Monday through Friday.
Mhm.
Named Jamil Nicole.
Yep.
All right. I asked God to remove anxiety from my life, and he said no. He reminded me of Paul with the thorn in his side. So now I move with anxiety there, but it no longer has a say so in my life. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Brittany. Very
Yes,
beautiful.
that's good. And she's talking about what we're talking about, good anxiety, right?
Mm,
Like you just need to manage it. And so I want to go back to what Jamil just said.
sure.
You want to sit with your thoughts, feelings, and the discomfort because we
Mm-hmm.
want to acknowledge it. That means we want to sit in it for a while. Why am I feeling this way? What is going on? Right. And then I come up with solutions. I don't want to just because if I ignore it, then I'm suppressing it and it's not going anywhere. Right. So I do want to sit in it, the discomfort, think about it, and then think about how can I resolve it and make it better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Good stuff. We got Rakia on. She said the combination of prayer and therapy to address anxiety has been helpful for me. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Rakia, and thank you for being on with us. Ozzy, Proverbs 19:21. Look it up. Okay.
Mhm.
Prince says they work positive affirmations indeed. Yes. And Jamil said, what are you affirming?
Yes.
All right, Malcolm, change the input and get positive output. Absolutely. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Good
See,
stuff.
but the Bible talk about it as well. When you talk about be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that's what it's
Mm,
talking about.
it does.
Renewing your mind.
It does.
Renewing your mind. That's what they talk about.
It does. It does. It does. All right. Anything else on how to manage?
Yep. So another thing, definitely get more sleep, more exercise, and engage in actually connecting with people and talking to people, social interaction. They did some research about they had like think about some youth that was actually about to take a test, and
Mm,
they had some of them, let's call them A group, and you got B group. A group was only allowed to text their parents, right?
mhm,
But everybody else in the B group was allowed to actually have a conversation and have interaction with their parents.
mhm,
Well, that group that was able to actually have the interaction and talk to their parents scored way higher than the group that was only able to text.
mm.
So that connection and that social interaction that you have, talking to someone, getting around people, that's also a good way to decrease your anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Also, again, exercise, of course, exercise helps with so many different things because it releases the serotonin, right? The dopamine, the melatonin, which helps you sleep better.
Mm,
So those things right there, exercise is good. If you got anything going on, start exercising first. Do
yes.
that. Get a
Yeah.
gym regimen, get some type of routine or something like that. That helps with everything. So
Yes.
many different benefits to that because it also helps you sleep better too. And also when you start exercising, a lot of times you start trying to eat better.
Yes. As Ozzy did a whole show on don't sleep on sleep. So it
That's
was
good.
reminding us don't sleep on sleep. Yes, 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 yes. It's very, very important. All right. Okay. Any other ways to manage?
Last thing, one of the biggest things too, have self-compassion on yourself, even when you mess up.
Self-compassion.
Self-compassion on yourself and also be non-judgmental to yourself. Because if you're too judgmental, that also can go into anxiety. Self-judgment can also start you to uh, catastrophize and start thinking about things over and over again because you're too hard or too critical on yourself. So have compassion on yourself. That's
Mm.
the big thing. If you do not have compassion on yourself when you mess up, that also can trigger anxiety.
So I call it giving yourself grace,
That's right.
meaning that you don't need to be too hard on yourself. But there's balance there as well, because you don't want to be on the opposite end of the spectrum thinking that you can do no wrong and everything that you do is,
Absolutely.
perfectly right. So there is balance there. All
It's
right.
balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Self-compassion. Yes. All right. Ozzy is still talking about these cold showers.
He's talking about cold showers. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Cork, practice by extending grace. Yes, absolutely. So extend grace to others, and that way you can also extend grace to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Helping others, extending grace to others, helping people.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to feel better about yourself, go actually do some things in your community, giveaways and stuff like that. Do
Mm-hmm.
some of that community service work. That's another way to pick yourself up and start this upward spiral.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Ozzy, quote, God said to love my enemies, and I decided to love myself. Okay. You definitely got to do that. Got to, got to, got to. All right. So we are a little bit over our time. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to give any closing remarks. I didn't know if you had anything more, Nick, because you just kind of rolling it on out.
That's it. That's
Okay. All right.
yeah. I don't want to. I want to be respectful of time. That's all I have for today.
Okay, cool. All right. We got a couple comments. Michael Court, make deposits in the Grace Bank. Yes, 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 yes. You got to do that. Got
And make deposit in the love tank too, as I like to say.
make deposit in the love tank too. Exactly. And Jamil, stop saying I am my worst critic and declare I am the best at challenging myself. Yes, I love
Reframe it.
that.
Reframe it. Thank you, Janelle. Reframe
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Good food tonight, Nick. Well done. All right. So, Nick, yes, any closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Nicole, for having me on the show. I really loved it. Appreciating everybody, all the feedback, good questions. You can get up with me, reach me, Psychology Today. I'm on Psychology Today. My number is 850-583-1630, right down the screen. And also you could book an appointment or set up a consultation, the love innovators at gmail.com. All right, so that's how you reach me. I do have some openings.
Okay. All right. All right. So, you are taking new clients.
I am, and I also take insurance as well.
Okay. Takes insurance. Do you do in person or tele?
All virtual right now.
All virtual, and you serve the entire state of Florida.
Absolutely.
All right, very good, very good. So, again, this is a clinician. Conversations with Nicole is presenting to you all to tap into a black male clinician at that, which are unicorns in my book because it's very few of you all, but
I don't know many.
appreciate you being here, and I hope this was beneficial to you all, being able to hear from Nick on good anxiety. So if it was, let us know in the comments. I see a few of you all are chiming in. Dr. Asha said, Little Book of Like is a book that studies the happiest countries. They talk about serving others to boost your happiness. Love it.
Absolutely. That's
Thank
right.
you for hearing that. Yeah.
Right, the upward spiral, Dr. Asha.
All right, Princess, I love that. Court, great stuff.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, Dr. Asha. Cold showers research. Look up cold plunge NPR on Google Internet for the research. All right.
Thank you for the research. Thank you for the research, Dr. Asha.
She said, Deke, glad I popped in. You were amazing as usual. Got my good notes in. Thank you to you too. And birthday twin. Yes. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Valencia, great conversation tonight. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you. Shantavia, great conversation. Thank you. Jamil, greatness on tonight. Nicholas, and conversations with Nicole. Thank you both. Our pleasure. Seta, thank you. Appreciate you. No, this was really good, Nick. I
Thank
had
you.
my concerns because I was like, how can good and anxiety coexist? But you did your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you did your
I know
thing.
it sounds like an oxymoron. That's why I was like, that'd be a good topic.
It does. It does. It was a great show, though. My mom said so too. So thank you, Mom. All right. So for those of you who may not be, oh, I got Pumpkin. She said, glad I popped in. I needed this. Wonderful, Pumpkin. We glad you popped in too.
Thank you for joining us.
Glad we can help out. Excuse me. So for those of you who are new to the platform, please like and share, like and subscribe rather. Sorry, I don't know, my throat is a little dry. Subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel. We're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. focus on mental health and wellness with clinicians of color primarily. Wednesday show, I have a psychiatrist out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Miss,
Chattanooga.
yes, Dr. Cassandra Sims, and we're gonna be talking about ADHD. So this is gonna be very interesting about um diagnosis, myths, and misdiagnosis. So why is a ADHD diagnosis important? So you definitely want to tune in on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. All right. Oh, we got on the shoulders of giants, Mr. Joseph Ward on, whose birthday was yesterday. Happy belated
Happy
birthday,
belated birthday.
Joseph. Yeah, thank you for being here. All right. Let Ozzy just say hey. Ozzy and these cold showers. We're gonna have to have a show on cold showers.
But Nicole, I want to say thank you for you too. I mean, you have clinicians all over the U.S. So
Mhm.
I mean, I appreciate that with your diversity that you bring these clinicians in and introducing us to these people, right? That we may not know they wasn't on your show. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely. My pleasure. My pleasure. I appreciate you all and, just having these conversations because they're so important and they get
Right.
us thinking and
Mhm.
hopefully doing some new things, all right? Changing
Absolutely.
some of our thought processes, our reframing, doing gratitude journals. Listen, I'm about to name all these things: controlling versus not controlling,
Mhm.
gratitude journals, positive affirmations, more sleep, more exercise, social internet interaction, and self-compassion. So those are some of our takeaways for tonight. Hopefully you all will institute those and please share this link with someone else. I am really trying to get my video watching up on YouTube. I'm trying to reach 4,000 viewing hours within a 365-day period, which means every day I gain new views, but every day I lose them. So play a video, one a day from now through the end of the month. I'm hoping if I could get 100 people to do that, that'll help me get there. So if y'all don't mind, you don't have to watch them, just play them. You listen to them too, but just play a video every day through the month of January. That will really assist me greatly. All right, good people. Again, thank you for your time. And again, happy MLK Day. It's been a great day here in Tallahassee. Let's keep the dream alive by being active, by speaking up about things that are not right and getting out there and voting. Please, please, please. It's an election year and our vote is our voice. So let your voice be heard. All right. We'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Bye.